Alrighty then. Here we go. So you do have a lot going on in your chart, love. In your chart. Okay, so when I look at your chart, this is what I'm seeing. I know it's hard for you to see, but I know what this means. It's not going to mean anything to you. It's going to mean a lot more to me. Okay, so where do I begin? Okay, here's where we'll start with your relationships. Okay, with your relationships, since that's like one of the biggest things that most people want to know about, and because it's actually one of the biggest things that's going to be going on in your chart until 2044. 44. 2044, girlfriend. Yep. No, no, no. But what's going to end up happening between now and 2020 or 2044, and you've already been getting a taste of it with certain people leaving your life, okay, since last year. You got a taste of it last year, you got a taste of it this year, and it's going to come back on November 20th of this year back into Aquarius. And when that happens, you've already kind of gotten a prelude to how this is all going to be interactive for you. Okay. You already saw it from March of this year all the way up until this point. You saw it, a taste of it last year. Okay. So this isn't your first rodeo. You've been kind of getting a prelude. Now, what's going to happen is relationships that are, a lot of people in relationships will give away their power, right? So we give away our power to our job, and we're like, okay, well, it pays the bills, so I have to keep my mouth shut. I can't say anything, right? So we don't. So this is not just your romantic relationships that we're talking about here. This is your friendships. This is your relationship with the lady at the grocery store. If she's always a bitch, why do you keep going through her line? Go to a different grocery store. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is where we give away our power. Well, I like that grocery store. Well, do you like being treated like shit every time you walk in? I don't. You know what I mean? So what you're doing is you've been giving away your power, and the universe is like, enough of that. Like, what the fuck are you doing? So what's going to happen, and this isn't, again, this is family relationships. You keep your mouth shut because you don't want to piss mom off or dad, or you don't want to hurt their feelings. Well, it doesn't matter anymore. So that's where you've given away your power, and you have to literally step up and go, no, this doesn't work for me anymore. You stayed in relationships longer past the expiration date because you wanted somebody to be by your side. And if a relationship just doesn't work, then it's time to throw the baby out with the bathwater and start over. So Pluto is about death, decay, destruction. It's about secrets. It's about power and control. Okay. And it's about rebirth. So whatever it takes away, it's almost like, when a forest burns down, right? It always comes back more beautiful and lush and amazing, right? So that's what's going to be happening till 2044. It's going to wipe out all the relationships that have only served a purpose for the other party. But it didn't serve a purpose for you. It's going to change your subconscious blockages as to why you feel that you need to manifest these types of relationships. And it's usually some type of a subconscious thing. Maybe something somebody said to you when you were a little girl, or maybe something somebody did. Pluto is also past lives. So you could have brought it in from a past life, right? Because it can be your Quasimodo. It's just a fear. So we fear certain things. We fear being alone. So we go ahead and stay in a relationship that's less than savory. Does that make sense? So what's going to happen is you're no longer going to do that. So that's not always necessarily a bad thing. Everybody's mind goes right directly to the negative. Oh, does that mean I'm going to be single for the rest of my life? No. But what it's going to do is it's going to help you have more of an evolved power couple dynamic in relationships. Not this, the partner does their own thing and you do your own thing, yet you're yearning to have that partnership, yet they don't know what they want. They don't want to commit. But yet you're still chasing them. Like, again, where's the subconscious blockage where you're, again, giving away your power to somebody who just takes advantage of it, takes advantage of your kindness, takes advantage of your heart. Is that making sense? So what the universe is doing is going to demolish all of those relationships. So without you getting mad, without you getting angry or upset or pissed off about it, you can't stop it. So the only thing you can do is learn how to work with it. Because listen, sweetheart, I've had Pluto for the last, from 2008 all the way up until literally it's on its way back in on September 1st. It's in my fifth house of true love and romance. I've been fucking single the majority of that 15 years it's been there. Not that I wanted to be, but every time I thought I got it, Spirit's like, you don't got it. And then it would demolish that relationship because that relationship would take advantage of me. And because I was a giver and I wanted to help and I wanted to fix it and I wanted to be of service to it. And Spirit's like, no, no, you don't. That's not your person. So what it's going to do is it's going to come back into this area and it's going to fix it, like finish it out one more time from September 1st to November 20th. And then it goes back into my health house and my employment. Okay. So I know what it's doing, and you can either walk into it kicking and screaming and I don't want this. Too fucking bad. Suck it up, buttercup, buckle up and enjoy the ride. You go into it kicking and screaming, it's not going to feel good. You go into it going, but I want to keep this person. I want to collect them. It's not going to be good on you. So instead of being angry or mad, of course we have these things called a human emotion, right? It sucks and it hurts because we really genuinely do have love and care for this person. But unfortunately, they're not there for your best interest. They're there for their best interest. And that's what Spirit is trying to get across to us. Does that make sense? So this is going to be a real tearing down and rebuilding when it comes to the types of partnerships that you bring into your life. Also, when it comes to your employment, what's been going on since 2008 when it came to your health and your work? You've been evolving in those areas. You don't even think the same way. You don't look at your health the same way anymore. Now you know that the government's poisoning your food. That's not a secret. Everything you buy in the fucking grocery store is poison. Stay out of the center of the grocery store, and even then they're fucking got seedless watermelon. What is that? It's GMO. See what I'm saying? So we're being much more conscious about the foods that we're putting in our body. And why is that? Because Pluto's been transiting the house of health. So we look at these planets and go, oh God, and we dread them. But here's the funnier part. You've been going through all this shit without even knowing you're going through all this shit. And that these planets are all up here doing their thing. And you're thinking you're just off on this rock by yourself and you have all your own ideas and everything is yours. No, it's not. It's like the universe will give it and the universe will take it away. Right? So that's kind of where you're at right now. And it does, like I said, it hurts. And because you have such a big heart. Everything you do is from a place of love or a place of ego. And I think a lot of that ego is embarrassment. You know, sometimes we want somebody back because like it's the winning game. You know, I want to win at all cost. So therefore, I want to get you back so that when you come back, I can break up with you myself. And that's our ego. That's a Leo. I love my Leos. I got lots of Leos in my life. Yes, I love my Leos. I'm a Virgo. There's always a Leo Virgo combination because Leo's ruled by the sun and Virgo's ruled by Mercury, and Mercury and the sun are always hanging out. So right when a Leo is like, I got it, Then they talk to a Virgo and they're like, fuck, I don't got it. So when it comes down to like your relationships, you're going to end up in a more powerful relationships. So you're going to also notice that you're meeting more powerful people as well. You're going to meet people who, like, what do you do for a living? Okay. So if you're wanting some type of a career, or you're wanting to start your own business, or you're wanting to do something, it will introduce you to the right types of people that will invest in your business. See what I'm saying? So it's actually a really good thing. So you'll see when we talk about Pluto, we're like, oh, that's scary. No, it's going to destroy all these like lower vibrational, frequencies, these individuals who are not up to par with where you are. If you're here and they're down here, you can't lower yourself to here. They either have to rise to the equation or they have to leave, right? That goes with every relationship. I don't care if it's your mom, your dad, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, cousin, best friend, work colleague, partner. I don't care who the fuck it is. If they don't meet you at your level, they have to go. Okay. And what it's going to do is it's going to put you in alignment with people who are at your level. And most importantly, people who are above your level. So it's almost like that. If you want to be a billionaire, you have to hang out with the billionaires. That's where you're headed. That's where you're headed. You will find yourself surrounded by very spiritually evolved individuals, people who are very powerful in your community, people who are powerful all over the world, and you end up you're not dating anybody right now, right? Okay, so you're not dating anybody right now. Because again, if he doesn't come to your frequency, he's out. The universe will destroy it. And if you're already seeing the signs that it's pretty much over and you guys are not able to fix it, now I do work with couples too. So if he's willing to get on board, I can do a couples session with you and help you guys through it. And then you guys can decide whether or not you want to continue in the relationship and it's something worth working on. So he's gone, right? Yeah. So, and you're saying it's rocky. It doesn't exist. See, you're still have this hope that he's going to change and come back and everything's going to be okay. But spirit says he's not. You haven't met again. They want to give you a more evolved partner, somebody who has much more power and somebody who actually matches you. Your king. See, you're in this queen mentality because that's what Leo represents, the kings and the queens. So hence why Trump got shot, because he's a king. He's a Leo. He's a Leo rising, Gemini sun, Sagittarius moon. And so when he got shot, it was because we had these energies that were squaring his ascendant. And the king, because it rules kings and queens, and beheading, where did he get shot? In the ear. See what I'm saying? So be very careful. Now, with that said, this has a lot to do with your self worth as well. So, but what the universe wants you to do is go, okay, let's clear your energy of all this shit. Stop fucking thinking that he's coming back to save you, because no one's coming to save you. The only person here to save you is you, right? People like healers don't come in to heal you. I'm not here to heal you. I'm a healer, but I'm only here to reflect back to you what you can have and tell you how to do it. Knowing is half the doing. Like, you have to know it and then do something about it. Walk your walk and talk your talk. People think, oh, well, as long as she tells me and I know that's going to happen, then I don't have to do anything with it. No, you still have to apply. You still have to fill out the business license. You still have to do the work, right? It doesn't come like that. There's still work that needs to be done. It's like, I'll tell you, oh yeah, you're gonna end up losing weight, and you're like, okay, sitting on the couch eating bonbons and fucking potato chips watching soap operas. No, that means you actually have to go to the gym. Like, you got to do something with it. So again, and also because you have this moon, your moon is in Libra. And yes, your moon is in Libra. And you also, oh shit, you got your Black Moon Lilith return. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. Which means good luck in relationships for the next 10 months, at least the next 10 months. Okay. People will accuse you of things that you're like, wait a minute, I didn't do that. Like, what are you talking about? Or they'll just have a weird vibe towards you. And there's going to be a side of you that also just kind of, you're just kind of like that. Black Moon Lilith is she's a warrior. She doesn't want to like, she's not going to put up with games. She will rip through anything and she don't give a flying fuck. Okay. And if you step into your Black Moon Lilith, she'll actually take you really far because she won't let you settle. She's not going to let you settle in relationship because she's in Libra and Libra rules relationships. Another thing I want to kind of give you a disclaimer about is don't get a ticket. Like driving tickets, like, yeah, but having the Black Moon Lilith in Libra right now and the eclipses that we're coming up on in October, and we're moving closer to it as we speak. We're already through the halfway point of the eclipses. That'll be the time where you can get into some type of legal issues. So do keep that in mind. You don't want to get in trouble. You don't want to get sued because you fender bender, you weren't paying attention, you were on your phone while you were driving, those types of things. Okay. Side disclaimer. Remember that I said that. So buckle up, drive the speed limit, watch your P's and Q's. Don't do anything stupid. Now, also, the reason why you are now going through this breakup is because of those eclipses. With your moon in Libra, and we have the eclipse points in Libra, this is going to ask that you be a little bit more selfish with your energy. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is when you want to be in a relationship so bad. And you're like, well, wait a minute, but I want this relationship. And Spirit's like, yeah, but we want you to be selfish now. We want you to say, yeah, this isn't working for me. And if it's not going to work for me, then I'd rather be single than be in this. So by you making the active decision instead of them making the decision for you, which in the past you've let them make the decision for you in your relationships. And that's where you're at right now. So you didn't do the breaking up. The breaking up happened, but you weren't the active participant in it. You would have still been holding on. And so it's go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But you knew that. And so it's like you can have that understanding, but there's still a lot of hurt and pain that goes along with that love. And that's again, you're freaking human and you have a big heart. And so let me look. Have you ever been married? How many times? Well, the next relationship, was he foreigner? Married. He is Filipino, but he was from where you are. Okay, but he wasn't. Okay, and where were you raised? Okay, so he is a foreigner. Even though he's Filipino, he's a foreigner because you had to move to a different country to be married to him, right? Okay, so that makes sense. Your next marriage will actually be more of a balanced marriage. Yes. This person will actually balance you out. This person will be much more of a best friend. This person will also be very financially well off And this person will also, um, they could be in some type of a legal profession, or something to do with helping, like it could be legal or law or financial. Very good looking, by the way. Very good looking. Yeah. Very attractive for sure. And this person will have a lot to do with helping you financially. Like your finances will be better, and it's not go out and go get in a relationship, because it has to be the right person or it won't be anybody at all. Just FYI, right? So also, you have Pluto on September 1st moving back into your fifth house of true love and romance. And passion projects, pets, children. So if you don't want to have kids, wrap it up. If you end up intimate with anybody, be careful about that. Just FYI disclaimer. If you don't want to get pregnant, make sure you wrap it up. But also, what Pluto is going to be doing in this fifth house is finishing out what he had started back in 2008, which is a complete demolishment of your type of type. Okay. And so what he's going to do is you're not going to have the same type anymore. Maybe we have a type because we had abandonment issues. So you end up manifesting somebody who abandons you emotionally, emotional abandonment also. So they end up leaving, right? And so, or our type is, they have to be this tall and they have to have green eyes and, they have to do this type of work. And we all have a type or had. We don't have a type anymore because Pluto's demolishing that. So you're not going to have a type anymore. And what you used to be attracted to will no longer be attractive. Does that make sense? So, and that's actually a really good thing because it's putting you into a different bracket. So, like, I feel like the men that you're attracted to are very physically fit. You like men who like take care of their body. You like men which doesn't mean you won't have a man who takes care of his body. You just need a man who also takes care of his mind. See, they think that, oh, if I go to the gym and I work out and I look good, but what's going on in here and here? You need to have somebody who's all of that, right? And that's something that you have not manifested just yet. You're looking for somebody who also the type of man you'll marry is somebody who's actually, they're going to give you the emotional stability that you desire. That's something that you haven't had when it comes to relationships, is somebody who has that emotional stability that allows you to feel safe. You haven't felt safe in your environment, in your relationship. You always feel like you're walking on these eggshells, yeah? Yeah. So again, that's something you have to work through because you're always like, because you've manifested again that type that always makes you wonder what's going on in their phone. What are they doing? Why are they acting that way? So what you're looking for is somebody who gives you the emotional security, not just the financial security. And that's why Pluto's going to be transiting your relationship house, is because you've ended up with less than savory individuals who made you question who you were, who made you not feel beautiful, who made you feel crazy inside, when really it was their crazy. But you tried to fix it. Stop that. No, no more fixing people. You're not looking for a project relationship, love. You and that's kind of what you've ended up with, is these project relationships. And you take care of people. Like, that's actually just in your nature. You like to take care of things. If he says that I like cracked pepper on my eggs and not on my salad, you're gonna remember that he likes cracked pepper on his eggs and not on his salad. Those are the little details. Or you're gonna get up in the morning and put his vitamins out for him. Yes, or make coffee or anything that's going to heal him or make his life easier because that's your loyalty. But you haven't ended up with people who will do that for you. So that's the type of person that we're trying to bring into the fold. Now, so let me ask you a question. Where's your dad? Because I'm okay. How's the relationship? I was going to say there's a disconnect between you and the father. There's something there. You have a disconnect between you and your dad. So the reason why I say that is because you have Saturn in Capricorn. Capricorn rules the father, and Saturn is the father. So Saturn being the ruler of Capricorn, and you have that in your chart. Not everybody gets to have Saturn in Capricorn. So there's this boundary that has been between you and your father. And so because of the disconnect between you and the father, the not talking, there's always like whether it's distance, emotional distance, cultural distance, all of those things. That's why you keep manifesting men who do the same fucking thing. Because what you didn't get, and this goes on for everyone. I did it, everyone does it. It's just a natural part of freaking life. We've all done it. Basically what happens is we seek out what we didn't get from our father. And so we end up manifesting the same situation, just different player in the game when it comes to the romantic partners that we seek. Not only that, I do want to tell you that this is not the first time you've lived this exact life. So you in past lives have already lived this life before. And the reason why I say that is because you have Saturn retrograde in your chart. And anytime I see a Saturn retrograde in a person's chart, I know that they're living a lifetime over again, which means you didn't pass your karmic test in a past life. Like maybe you died, or the person that you owed the karma to, or that person owed you karma. It wasn't served because somebody passed away. Okay. So you're here to revisit something that you didn't fulfill in a past life. And being that it is in your fifth house of children, passion projects, the father, um, true love and romance, creativity, it's almost like there's a blockage in that area for you. And it's because you owe from a past life. So you might feel like you're always the bridesmaid, never the bride. You know what I mean? Like it can feel like oh God, I can't get to the finish line, but you can. It just takes a little bit more work for that to happen for you. Okay. So you're going to have to put in a little bit more work, and you're going to have to learn to set healthier boundaries. What do you think Saturn represents? So Saturn is the only planet with a ring around it. What do you think those rings represent? Boundaries. Boundaries. It's as soon as Saturn went into freaking Aquarius is when we had the 6 feet apart. You can literally go back and look at where Saturn was, look at the date that they pulled the whole bullshit of the 6 feet apart. And all you have to do is go back and it'll show you that Saturn entered into Aquarius. And you'll see, because Aquarius rules people. Who did we have to do the 6 feet apart from? People. Right? So that's when everybody kind of started, oh, don't hug me. Oh, don't touch me. Oh, you can't come over. You know, here, put little dots in the grocery store so people know where to stand. That was all Saturn in Aquarius. And then as soon as Saturn moved out of Aquarius and went into Pisces, that's when we, that would all went away. And Saturn was there in that area for 3 years. So for 3 years, we had the 6 feet apart. We're just now coming out of that, right? So now you have Saturn in your, well, seventh house of relationships. And so Saturn is asking that you learn to set healthier boundaries in relationships and say, hey, this isn't working for me. And I don't give a shit what relationship that is. Again, we always go right directly to romantic. I'm not just talking romantic. I'm talking family. I'm talking friendships. I'm talking coworkers. I'm talking lady at the grocery store. I'm talking shoe shine boy, right? So learning to set boundaries and saying, hey, that doesn't work for me. Because what the universe wants to gift you is a long-term partnership, one that is going to last the test of time, or at least 30 years until Saturn moves back into that area again and goes, okay, well, did you learn your lesson from the last time I was here? Oh, cool, you did? Great. Here's your test. Because you can't build on relationships without bricks and mortar, right? You have to build a solid foundation, which means a friendship. Don't jump into bed with them. There needs to be a boundary because most men will tell you they love you just to jump into bed, just so that they can meet your bed. Make sense? So, and also, you're not working right now. What would you like to be doing? Because that's another thing that's coming to the forefront for the next 20 years for you. Mm-hmm. So, um, hotel, are you going to retire there? Again, long term is what we're thinking, not just something just to give you some cash. Because at the end of the day, the question is, does that really come from your heart? Or is that just coming from because it's convenient, it's there, why not? You see what I'm saying? So again, that's what I'm talking about. Unless you're actually going to be able to build into management and you're doing it because again, Leo has to do everything from here, not here, here. So if you don't love it, it's not going to work. You'll get fired. They start bringing in people that you can't stand working with. They give you management that's fucking retarded, and honestly, these hotels will take absolute advantage of you in Hawaii. I've seen many of my clients who work there. My son-in-law, he also worked for the hotel for one of the restaurants and stuff. And he was like, what the fuck am I doing? And he finally got out. So exactly. It's like working at the restaurant industry. I did that for over 20 years. It's dog eat dog, girl, and it's a shitty environment. So again, if you're going to be doing anything, it needs to come from here. Like if you want to do like health coaching or yoga practitioner or, those types of things, that would be very beneficial where you're able to help other people on their journey. Because that's, again, it comes from here. You feel emotionally satisfied when you help other people. And I can see that in your chart. It makes you feel good about yourself. You're like, I did that. So if you want to be like a health trainer or dietitian or, any one of those things where you're working, even if you're working at a studio or whatever, but yet you still are doing your own business, those would be really good things for you to do. Okay. But not necessarily doing these corporate jobs. I don't know that a corporate job is what's going to make you happy. unless you're able to grow through it and you can move up and you're not just cleaning fucking rooms or bussing tables or whatever grunt work, that they're going to put you through. Unless you're doing like a front desk, then you could totally move up. But again, do you really want to work with that many people? That's entirely up to you. So keep those things in the back of your mind, because I don't know that I see that for you. I do feel like, people are very important. You do have North Node and Aquarius, so I do see like more humanitarian, stuff, like where, what humanitarian is, right? Like volunteer work would also be really good for you, volunteering for a group or, giving back in some way, would be really awesome. Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. What else do we have here? So we have these eclipses in your second and eighth house. Okay, that makes sense. Um, so this is about how you make your money. It's almost like investing. Like I feel like you need to focus more on how you're investing your money. Like, are you investing your money in a class? Because you're investing in yourself, right? So you're going to take a class. So I feel like you need to start thinking about like deadly serious commitments to how you're going to make money from other people. And I'm not saying go out and buy stocks or any of that kind of stuff, but that could be real estate. You know what I mean? Like you buy and sell a house, right? You buy like a tiny home, you renovate it, and then you flip it. Do you see what I'm saying? You would be really good as to thinking about how you can take a few dollars, invest it into something, and turn it into gold. Because I do think that you have that quality in you, especially right now with these eclipses. So if you go and you take these classes, you're investing money, right, into yourself. In turn, you're able to bring that out into the world, and it's going to actually bring in a lot of money. Like even like esthetician school or, beauty school or anything to do with working with celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Like getting in there with high end. Remember when we talked about powerful people? You're capable. See, I did celebrity gatherings while I was there. I got hired by a few celebrities while I was there. And I did parties for them, yeah, where they had me come and set me up in a whole house on their property, had a whole house to myself. And they had ushers bring me the couple that I would do a reading for. And then the usher would come back like 20 minutes later, grab them, and had another usher bringing another one in. And I did this all night long. And I was working with celebrities. So, the movie Coraline, the cartoon. Well, it's a badass cartoon. Um, really high end. Anyway, I did the producer of that movie also. Him and his wife's really, yeah. So I worked with a lot of celebrities on the island. So again, there are many celebrities that live there. You just need to get a way to get in with them, because you definitely have that quality to be able to. Have you ever randomly met celebrities anywhere? So you're keeping. Okay. All right. So that's because as a Leo, you have the opportunity to work with celebrities. And you also have the opportunity of being celebrity status in your own right. And I don't mean like on big screen but being a celebrity in whatever it is that you do. So if you do poetry, you would be well known. If you do makeup, you could be very well known. If you are, doing a workout blog online, you would be well known. You could get a lot of followers. Do you see what I'm saying? So it makes you a celebrity in your own right. For me, I have Jupiter and Leo. I am a celebrity wherever I go. I have a lot of people who know me. I have a lot of followers, and I can go anywhere in the world and know somebody there. See what I'm saying? So I feel like you also have that capability. You're just not tuning into it. Because again, where have you given away your power? See what I'm saying? You are hidden behind the scenes. So again, do you really want to work at a fucking hotel? No. No, darling. No. Not at all, honey. Not at all. All right, Spirit. So please talk to me about Anne. What is it that Anne needs to look out for? Yeah, they're talking about you imagining. It says imagine. So it's like using your imagination about what you want out of life. And we all have an imagination. When we were little kids, I imagined that I was going to be a princess and I always imagined that I would live on an island. And then I did. My imagination became reality. So everybody knows from the time I was 3 years old, I was moving to Hawaii. Everybody knew that. And I didn't move there until I was 38. And so my imagination as a child, because we don't allow our imagination to run wild anymore. Why? Because we're taught that it's silly and we're taught to grow up. But no, what we need to do is get back to that imagination and imagining how you want your life to go next. How do you want your relationships to be next? How do you want your career path to go next? Because it's all the power of cause and effect. It's the law of attraction. You've heard of that, right? So the law of attraction is you attract what you imagine, right? So you've you've attracted every single thing all the way up until this point. You've attracted relationships, you've attracted jobs, you've attracted food on your table, you attracted me today, right? So you've manifested all the way up until this point. So now it's about having an imagination for how you want things to go in the future and then be flexible as to how it comes to you. You put it out there, but you can't say, but it has to go this way and it has to be this person. It has to be. No, you're flexible. Okay, I have this vision of what I would like to have, Spirit. And then people think, okay, I'm going to get from point A to point B. Mm-mm. You're going to go from point A to point S to point F to point G to point, L, and then Y, and then back to C, maybe to P, and then back to A. See what I'm saying? And that's why Spirit says, but be flexible because I am going to bring you what you want. But if you really want it, I'm going to have to shift you around in order to conspire to bring this to you. Does that make sense? So it's a constant, like how the universe conspires to bring us together with people. It's like you and your husband. You were born in the Philippines. He was in Hawaii. How the fuck did you get to Hawaii? The universe conspired to get you there. And that's how you were able to do it. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Never thought in a million years that that's how it would have gone. So the universe is like conspiring, like the universe conspired to bring you and I together here today. And the people that you meet that end up going on your journey with you. And you're like, wow, that is fucking crazy. You mean you were really all the way over there and now like we're meeting here? Like that's insane. Of all the millions of billions of fucking places you could be in this planet, and you're right there with that person right that moment. See what I'm saying? All right, Spirit. So please, yeah, I saw this one earlier. So you got the fork in the road. And the fork in the road talks about, so whatever it is that you're imagining you want to do, you're going to have to make a decision on how you're going to get there. So the fork in the road is exactly like it sounds. You see him, he's standing there at this road sign, right? You see that he's tied to the road sign. So you can either Or you can tell that he can actually pull that sign down if he wanted to because he's stronger than the freaking crooked old sign and go in a completely different direction. So right now you're sitting at the precipice of, do I go this way or do I go this way? Do I go this way for work or do I go this way? Do I start my own business and take a class and start my own business, or do I just do what's easy and I go this way? And Spirit says, well, what are you imagining? What is it you've always wanted to do? And why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you making the decisions that you're making? See what I'm saying? So you're at the precipice of something really brand new, but it's up to you to decide like how you're going to do it. I can't give you that answer. No one can. That's on you. And anybody who tries to tell you what you should be doing, it's on you. Spirit, please show me yeah, round and round. And then what else do we have? Bottom of the deck. Yeah, observer. So I really feel like right now, this is a time for you to go within. And I feel like for the next month, through the month of August, there's going to be a lot of like inward, how do I want to say this, Spirit? Instead of like manifesting on an outward level, right? Where you're running in, you're getting everything, I feel like there's like this needing to really take a look and do some research on what you want to do. So if like, say you want to take a class, okay, would an online class be good? So it's really about researching, or would you like to be in person, because it's much more of a structured environment, those types of things. How much is the class if it's online? How much is the class if I go in? You see what I'm saying? So there's going to be some research on what you need to do. And I don't feel that right now is the time to make that decision. I feel like in September, you're going to have more information because you did some research and you'll know which way to go. Does that make sense? So that you're not going round and round and round and round. Make sense? Okay. And that can go for anything. But I feel like this is about what you want to do for your future. This isn't about relationships. This isn't about any of that. This is about, what do you want to do? Where do you want to live? Do you want to stay in Hawaii? Because Spirit, a lot of people will want to get into a relationship, right? And I'm like, well, do you even live where you want to be? And they're like, I don't know, And I'm like, okay, but again, remember when we talked about conspiring to bring people together? So if you're not living where you want to live and you find yourself doing like research online and you're like, wow, I kind of want to go to this school over in Texas, say, or, in another country. Something's triggering you to go there. And usually when you go there, that's when you end up meeting the love of your life. You think that you're going for school, and that's exactly what you end up doing. But while you're at that school, you happen to go into a grocery store or into a little cafe and you meet the love of your life. But you're not going to get that if you don't know where you want to live. Because then the universe will send you a test and then, you're all gung-ho about moving and you're ready to do this. And then the universe will send you a temptation to see if you're going to stay where you are or if you're going to go fulfill your career. Because you value yourself more than this temptation that's trying to keep you stuck where you are when you know you're not happy there. And some people will do that. They're like, oh, he's cute. Then it doesn't work out. And then they feel like shit that they passed up an opportunity. Because the universe always gives us a consolation prize. It's like, well, okay, this, but all those, what about this? You got to be stronger than what's trying to tempt you into staying where you are. So again, that's why I'm talking about the observer, because I feel like for you, I don't know that you're necessarily where you want to be, like living wise. It's almost like you're kind of tired around, like you almost feel stuck. Like there's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. The people are just, they're great, but nobody can hang out. Everybody's busy. You've got to work 4 or 5 jobs just to live in Hawaii. And I feel like there's a side of you that's like, what do you want to build on that's going to take you further? You can't bank off of somebody paying your bills. You can't bank off of somebody coming in. And I mean, yes, in your chart, you do have where somebody comes in and they are financially, but you have to value yourself enough to where even if this person was to leave you, you wouldn't have to go running back to mommy and daddy's house because you can't afford your bills. You got to get to a place of independence because otherwise you're going to be right back where you are. And yes, it's an option, but is it really what you want? No, not necessarily. You want to get to a place of independence to where if you were in a relationship, it would just be a bonus and the two of you guys could work together for the same common goal, which is awesome. But if they were to leave you, would you be financially stable enough to be able to make it on your own? Without floundering and going, oh, fuck, what do I do? What do I do? Mom, dad, you don't want to get to that point. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's what we're talking about here. And so that's why I'm saying, like, it's really important that you take the time out to go within, to do your research, reflect, reevaluate, realize, do some resting on it, like kind of sit back and think about it. Because I feel right now you're almost stuck. And I feel like there's a side of you that's ready for an adventure and you're tired of doing, like, your soul is fucking bored. You're bored. You've been doing the same thing over and over and over. You've driven the same freaking roads over and over. You could only drive around a freaking island so many times before you're just like burnt the fuck out and you're like, I miss festivals. I miss being able to drive straight. I just want to drive straight, you know? Yeah. It's boring. It's freaking boring. And there is more to do out here. I'm in Florida right now, and I gotta be honest with you, there's so much shit to do. I went to the springs and floated down the springs last Sunday, and it was so beautiful. It was like I'm seeing things that I didn't even know existed. I've never been to Florida, and I'm like, wow, I really liked this. The people are really nice. So it's like I'm enjoying what I'm seeing instead of doing the same rat race that I've been doing on an island for the last 7 years. There's so much more in this world that you need to go out and experience. And I think that there's a side of you that yearns for that. And I don't know that you're even at home where you are. Where is home for you, Dorothy? No, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. Did you ever watch The Wizard of Oz? The Wizard of Oz. Okay, so there's a reason why it's getting brought up, and it's really funny because in The Wizard of Oz, you will see that. And, yeah, that is so funny. Look what just flew out. Step out of your comfort zone. You're in your comfort zone right now. Well, I feel safe. I'm in my bubble. I don't have to worry about anything. But you're not really comfortable. Like on an island, you got to BYOB, bring your own boy. Otherwise, it's really hard to find one, you know. And the ones that are there don't want to settle down. They're just surfer dorks. Yeah, they're not long-term material. And you have to be careful what you fuck around with on that island. There, first time I went to the doctor, and then I took my daughter when she moved here or moved to the island. I took her in to go get established with the doctor's office. And the first thing that they said to me when I moved to the island was, hey, don't be intimate with anybody here on the island. They all have STDs. And then when I took my daughter in, who saw a completely different doctor at a different doctor's office, they said the same fucking thing. And I was like, is that your guys' spiel? And she was like, We have to tell you that because we see so many STDs on this island. I'm like, are you kidding? She goes, no, they're passing each other around because there's no one here. So everybody's passing everybody. Everybody's dated everybody. I'm like, that's fucking gross. So Spirit, please show me, what does Anne's future look like? Like, what can she expect? What can Anne expect coming up in the near future? What can Anne expect coming up in the near future? A personal issue reaches resolution. And again, we talk about the home. Fourth house of home. That's what Cancer represents, home and family nurturing. And that sits literally right underneath the fork in the road. So I think that one of the things is, I do believe that you are going to want to, there's this little birdie flying the coop. There's a side of you that really wants to fly the coop. And I think that in the near future, you are going to be, because you see how he's like looking out, he's got his little, telescope or whatever. He's like looking out into the horizon, like, where do I want to go? Like his binoculars. I think that if you wanted to go somewhere else, you could. Okay. And also, your mom's there too. Yeah. Where's your mom? Okay. When was the last time you went there? Okay. Okay. Because I'm also getting something to do with your mother. There's something coming up with your mom. So, what? Okay. That's not yours to do. That's not yours. That's not yours. Yeah, because it's actually been holding you back from true love. It's what's been holding you back from love because of your judgment. Some people just run their course. Some people, it's like they're not supposed to be together forever. They're only supposed to be together for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, till death do us part. Your opinion doesn't matter because if the universe wants them to break up, they will, regardless of how it makes you feel. My nose just started itching right when I said that. So, and I think that that's what's actually been holding you back from being in a real love relationship, is by judging someone else's relationship. And we learn our love relationships from our parents, our mother and our father. And I feel like, you've got the mother here with Cancer. That's why I'm asking about your mom. There's been something about your mother and the relationship that the two of you guys have had that that's kind of gone, like, run its course. And I feel like there needs to be a rebalancing of the relationship and a true bonding is what I'm seeing. Like, you guys really need to bring that bond, that mother daughter bond, back together. Yeah. Yeah. And I still feel like there's residual energy that kind of keeps you stuck, that you haven't fully allowed her to be mom, because of the resentment that you have felt, which was not your cross to bear. That was between your mom and your dad. And you don't get to take sides, you know. Another thing too is, be really mindful of anyone trying to come back from the past, romantic wise, in the next month. Don't do it. Don't do it. It won't last. You'll remember in September, October-ish, why you guys broke up in the first place once the honeymoon phase is over. Don't do it. Mercury is going into retrograde. Anytime Mercury goes into retrograde, which is every 3 to 4 months, people from the past tend to resurface because they're thinking about us. Ah, do you see that? Did you just see that bubble, the thumbs up bubble? Oh, that was freaking crazy. I can't believe you didn't see that. I just saw it. There was a bubble on the phone that literally like gave a thumbs up. That was yeah. That was crazy. There was oh God, I wish I was recording that, but I'm recording it here and not there. That was crazy. Anyway, anyone from the past, like, so when Mercury goes retrograde, it tends to bring thoughts of the people from the past. So either you're reaching out to people from the past and you're like, hey, thinking of you. And then most people will think, oh, we're getting back together. We're going to try again. And I'm like, don't be filling out the fucking, wedding invitations just yet. Because as soon as Mercury goes direct, you're going to remember why you guys broke up in the first place, and it won't end well. So, what I call it is when Mercury goes retrograde, it brings people back from the past to see if you're still stupid. And I mean it. Okay. So, I am seeing that in the future. But it's just a clear karma, to see where you're at in the healing process. If you can turn it down, then you've healed. If you start to contemplate it and go, well, maybe, kind of, we could probably try again, you're not healed. Makes sense? Okay. So I do see where these endings are going to bring new beginnings when it comes to your relationships. I do see a new romantic partner coming in for you. Okay. This does show up in the future. Now, I can tell you the future. It might be 6 years from now. I'm not predicting that, but people will say, oh, well, she said it's coming in the future. So every Tom, Dick, or Harry that they meet, they're thinking, is this my man? Is this my man? Is this my guy? And no, probably fucking not. And if you have to ask that, the answer is probably no. So get back to, enjoying life, get back to what career, because you know what's sexy is when a person knows what they want out of life. What's sexy is when a woman takes initiative, who goes out, who's independent, who doesn't require somebody else to be paying for her shit, or, she doesn't need to be taken care of. She can do that on her own. And anybody who comes into her life is just a bonus. See what I'm saying? So my suggestion is get on your finances, because if you got to have money, what is it? Romance without finance is a nuisance. Have you heard that saying? So if you don't have money, love and money come under the same coin, and that's Venus. All right, Spirit. So please show me Anne's love life. Show me Anne's love life. Spirit, please show me Anne's love life. Spirit, please show me Anne's love life. Love and romance. Yeah. Romantic feelings, and pay attention to the red flags. Spirit, please show me Anne's love life. Staying optimistic about your love life will bring you romance. Spirit, please show me Anne's love life. Moving forward, past life relationship. You have known each other before. Spirit, please show me Anne's future of her love life. Yeah, let go of control issues. What else do you have? Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life. Told you, you got to start making money. If you want romance, you have to start making money. If you don't start making money, you ain't getting nothing. Spirit, please show me Anne's love life. Yeah. Yep. Spirit says make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps that you're guided to take. So remember earlier when I was talking about how if you're feeling guided to go to a certain, on a certain like country, or you're guided to move to a certain area, do what you're feeling called to do. So if there's like a certain place in the world that you're like, I would freaking love to live there. Like I'd love to go to school there. Start looking it up. Start doing the research. Start showing the universe like I'm making an effort. Because then what's going to happen is say that your future partner isn't already there. If you start doing the research and you start doing what you need to be doing so that you can actually work on getting closer to moving there, then all of a sudden, say they're working at a job they don't like, and then they happen to put in an application, and then they're like, yeah, we'll move you here. And now this person ends up living in the same apartment complex as you. See what I'm saying? So, but it's going to take you doing the footwork so that the universe can conspire to bring the two of you together. That's why it's saying, so make the effort. Make the effort when it comes to your finances, because this one talks about your finances. It talks about self-worth. Also, let go of control issues. Don't try to control how this comes about. Don't try to control it. You're not in control. Spirit's in control. You will have a past life relationship come through. This person, remember earlier when I said you had Saturn retrograde in your chart? That means that you've already been with this person before in a past life. Whoever you end up with in the future, that person will be like, you may have, you're like, man, I really felt like I've met you in many lifetimes. I've known you for many lifetimes. Have you ever heard that on movies? Or no, you don't watch movies, but they'll say like, I feel like I've known you for many lifetimes, because they have, because you have. So the person that you're going to end up meeting is going to be somebody that it's going to feel like you've met in many lifetimes. Okay. Also, Spirit is saying, make sure to be friends with this person. Like, hang out with this person. Does this person get along with your friends? Would you enjoy a friendship with this individual before you go any further with them? Right? Because, like, and what do your friends think about him? That kind of a thing, you know? Um, because I feel like for you, you also have, the relationships that you come into. I feel like you guys didn't have the same beliefs. Like you guys were on different pages when it came to beliefs or your upbringing. You guys were a lot different, if that makes sense. There was a lot of differences in you and your past relationships, and you still tried to make it fit. You still tried to make it work. Spirit's like, don't do that. In your past relationships. So I feel like you might get tested with a new relationship coming through, but it's a new relationship, but with somebody that you dated in a past life. And I feel like this person is a test. So it's almost like somebody's going to come in and try and sweep you off your feet. And it's going to be all great until it's not. So it's almost like you're going to have to pay attention to all the red flags, because I feel like you're going to get tested. And until you pass the test. Yeah, I'm definitely getting till you pass the test. So I almost feel like don't try to put a title on it. The next relationship that comes through, don't try to put a title on it. Yep. Don't put a label on it. Don't try to push for that. Let it unfold. And then just watch what they do. If it's a runner chaser situation, don't fucking do it. You know to back out because you've already had that before. Yeah, runner chaser. And I feel like the next person that comes in is going to do the same thing. But it's going to be up to you to recognize it quicker and go, wait a minute, set the boundary that we spoke about, right? And if they don't heed the warning, let them go. And it's up to you to do it real quick. In fact, don't sleep with them. Don't sleep with them. Just watch them. Watch what they do. Watch what they do. You ask them to, like, hey, let's go to the movies or let's go do something. And they're like, oh, well, I've got blah, 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 and they've got all these excuses and, oh, I'll get a hold of you, because most people will always put their best foot forward to get you in bed. But once they've got you and they think they've got you wrapped around their finger, then they start doing the opposite of what they were doing to get you in the first place. Right? We've all had that happen. Spirit, please show me Anne. What advice do you have for Anne when it comes to her love life? What advice do you have for Anne when it comes to her love life? All right. Look inside yourself and examine what is causing you to feel this way. Okay? You got, when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. You also got, don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. So it's almost like being guilt tripped into getting back into a relationship with somebody is almost like what I'm getting is somebody comes back in and they're like, I love you, I miss you. And you start to feel guilty, or maybe somebody starts to feel guilty about the way they treated you. So they come back in and then you're like, well, don't base it, because spirit says only time will tell. Like all of these relationships, only time will tell. Okay. I feel like you're about ready to get tested. I really feel that very, very strongly. And I feel like somebody's going to try and reel you back in to a loop that you've already been in. And it's going to be up to you to see it for exactly what it is. So pass the test. Spirit will test you every once in a while just to see, like, do you remember what I taught you? And if you do, you'll be fine. If you go into it, you're wasting your own fucking time. So remember how the person left you in the first place, and then decide whether or not if you really want to do this again. But my suggestion is I wouldn't date anybody until after September.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Because Mercury will be in retrograde the entire fucking month of August. Entire. Yeah, and you're born on a very powerful day, girlfriend. 8-8 is the Lion's Gate. Have you ever heard about that? Oh, okay. Well, 8-8. It's infinity. Turn it on its side. It's infinity. 8 is my actual favorite number. 88. And it's funny because 88 follows me everywhere I go. I see 88, 88, 88. So when you told me your birthday, 88, I was like, oh, that is so great. That is so awesome. So now, with that, the Lion's Gate is a very powerful portal, and we're in it right now all the way up until the 8th of August. So it can feel very intense. You can, feel like things are starting to really speed up. Things are getting really weird. I mean, look at all the state of the world. There's a lot of weird shit that's going on, and it's because of this Lion's Gate. And so, in fact, I posted this thing earlier about so it's called the Galactic New Year and is July 26th to August 8th. And it says, when the earth aligns with Sirius, our spiritual sun, the moment when earth begins a new time-space cycle. This opens up a cosmic vortex between the earth and Sirius. The Lion's Gate portal will last until August 12th, with the peak of the portal on 8-8. when Earth directly lines up with the galactic center. Our sun in Leo aligns with our spiritual sun Sirius and Orion's belt. On Earth, this alignment physically happens exactly in the location of the pyramids of Giza in Egypt. A massive wave of light is coming from the galactic center to Earth and amplified by Sirius, bringing the new Earth codes of awakening and ascension and major cellular upgrades. So you might feel sick, you might feel woozy or dizzy or like not grounded or feel like something's off and I feel kind of weird, like I'm floating in outer space and I can't, like, and you might actually get sick, like, purging, diarrhea, stomach ache, headache, and what you're doing is you're clearing all of the last year's codes and making room for the new light codes. So they've demonized getting sick, which is actually a really good thing. And we typically get sick right before our birthday. So the Lionsgate portal is one of the major energetic events each year that serves as an energetic marker of a significant timeline shift. So this year is the biggest energetic portal of 2024. Rare 888 Lionsgate portal amplifying the activation of prosperity. The year of 8 carries the energetic vibration of infinity, which is what I just said. Personal power, renewal, balance, and abundance. So 8-8 Lionsgate, and then we're in an 8-year. 2024 adds to an 8. 2 plus 2 plus 4 is 8, right? So being that we have all these 8s, you have infinite opportunities to make a really awesome life for yourself. Do not squander it with small thinking. Do not squander it by going back to people from the past that have already had an opportunity to be with you, and then you turn around and give them another chance to hurt you when you've already gone through the healing process. See what I'm saying? You're in a really awesome pivotal place right now. And that's why we talk about that fork in the road, right? Yeah. Is because this is an amazing opportunity to create whatever it is that you imagine. The sky is the limit, Anne. And this isn't just foo-foo, woo-woo talking. It's like, seriously, you've manifested every single thing you've ever had to this point. Now, how can you make your life more magical than you have ever made it in your life? And I think that you kind of think small in some aspects. Like, you want a lot, and you do. You have like really high standards and good taste, when it comes to your clothes, when it comes to your makeup, when it comes to your food. Be like that when it comes to your men. Be like that when it comes to what you want to do for your future. Think higher and ask for more. You're asking, I just want somebody who's kind. That's nice, but ask for more. Ask for somebody who's generous with not only their finances and abundance, but somebody who's generous with their love, somebody who's generous with their time, somebody who's emotionally available and not somebody you have to raise, somebody's crusty old son, who can't get their shit together. Like, you have to know that you are worthy and deserve so much more. Because if you are willing to do that, the universe is like, girl, the sky's the limit. What else do you want? And I think that this is what people don't understand right now is you can manifest being a fucking multimillionaire. And you genuinely have the capability of it. But you've got to be in the right space to do it. Mind, body, spirit. That's why you're going through this Pluto transit, is because Pluto's like, yeah, but you're high quality. You're high quality. You're a high quality girl. So act like it. And whatever these insecurities that you have in yourself and these men that you've manifested that where you feel you have to go through their phone and see what they're doing, get together with a man that has their fucking phone unlocked and you have the code and he's like, yeah, here, babe, hey, can you find that thing for me? See what I'm saying? Because they do exist. Now, little heads up. I will say But the men's men that we really are looking for, and this is why I've stayed single for the last 9 years, is because I'm waiting for these men's men to come back. Transit doesn't happen until the end of 2025, going into 2026. In the meantime, we have a bunch of fucking broken dudes who can't figure out like who they are. They can't figure out if they want a relationship. Half of them don't even know if they're a boy or a girl or a pickle. You know, they're going by they, them, and doing all this bullshit, this weird crap. Mhm. So just so you know, we get those men, the men who lift their women up, the men who really want to be a man and a partnership, we get them back in 2026. Yeah. So keep that in mind. We do get them back though. We do. The rest of us are just patiently waiting like TikTok motherfucker, let's get going. It's going to take a minute though. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time. A lot of my clients are in the exact same shoes as you. I'm in the same boat, you know. And like I said, I'm out here just living my life. I have other things that I can be doing right now. I want to send you this video that I want you to get to this place. Once you get to this place, and is a video that I did on YouTube, and you get to this place and you will be unstoppable for relationships. I loved this reading because whoever it was that I was tapped into, and I said, listen, if you're not tapped into this, claim this, claim this video because, and then get to this space where you're so busy doing what you're doing, you're not even paying attention. Your focus isn't on love and relationships. Your focus is on loving yourself, loving your life, and creating healthy partnerships with new friends, new environments, new hobbies, like really, really, really satisfied in life. That when somebody comes in, it like totally catches you off guard because you're not really paying attention to it. Because again, you're going to school, you're doing all these things, you're creating, building your empire, your legacy. You do those things and you're going to end up aligning to a man that wants to fucking lift you up, that will support you in everything you do. But when we are constantly like looking at every person, like I just did a reel on Instagram. When I was in kindergarten, we read this book. It was called Are You My Mother? And it was about this little bird that fell out of the nest in the tree. And he was like walking around trying to find his mother. And he walks up, to a truck and he's like, Are you my mother? And it's all, and it scares him and he runs away. And then he walks up to, an elephant or, something. And he's like, Are you my mother? And then the elephant like almost steps on him and he scurries away. And, and he keeps going until he finally gets back to his mother. So it's almost like that in life. Like, every woman is, are you my partner? Is that my guy? Somebody gives them a smile or, waves at them. And immediately the first thought in their mind is, are you my partner? Get to a place where you don't even give a fuck. Like, it's not even on your, like, it's not on your list of things to do because you're so busy. Yeah. You get so busy with life that when it comes in and if you ever talk to people who have been together for a really long time, that person usually took them off guard. Like they were out, they just moved to a new city and they, started this new career path. And then boom, they end up meeting the love of their life. And now they've got the home, the white picket fence, the children, the whole nine, the careers, their power duo. That's what you're manifesting. So my suggestion is, and I tell people this all the time, start your husband jar. Stop telling the universe you want a fucking boyfriend. Start telling the universe, like, I'm ready for my husband. So when you talk to your friends, you talk to them about your husband. When I get married, when I meet my husband, when my husband comes home, when my husband gets here, use your passwords to manifest. Use your passwords because you got to type them in all the time, right? Use your passwords as a manifestation key. And then when you talk to your friends, make sure you're talking about your husband and not when you get a boyfriend. And then start your husband jar. I want you to write down 30 things. He must be generous. He must be kind. If you want to travel, he must like adventure and be spontaneous, or you're going to end up with a fucking couch potato. Because you didn't ask for it, remember? You got to be specific. And so every time you meet someone, you pull out the husband jar and you just sit there by yourself and go, does he have this? Does he have this? Does he have this? Does he have this? And if he's only got like 4 things in the box, throw him away. Next. You had better have at least 25 of the 30. 25 of the 30. And the reason why I didn't say 20 is because it's only 5 more, and that means you're still 15 off, and that's a lot. That's a lot. And, I had my bookkeeper, she did that exact thing. And she's an older auntie, and she's been married for over 20 years, and he had all 30. He had all 30. Yeah. So, yeah. And she's amazing. I love my bookkeeper. She's actually a local Hawaiian lady. And yeah, we talked about it, and she was like, Peace, that's what I did. I wrote down 30 things that he must have, and I ended up getting all 30. I was like, wow. And they've been married ever since, and it's amazing. So make that, if you're walking down a Lee Drive and you see this little old man fucking, he stops at a tree and he stops his little old wife and he turns her around and he puts a plumeria in her hair and you're like, oh my God, I love that. Put that in your box. You see what I'm saying? Those little things matter. If you're standing in the kitchen and you're cooking dinner and you enjoy somebody just coming in and wrapping their arms around you and kissing your neck and caressing you while you're cooking, put that on there. If you want to cook with your partner, put that on there. If you want to start a business with your partner, put that on there. See what I'm saying? All of those things. Be specific. Because otherwise the universe is like, well, you didn't ask for that. And do not put in anything in there that you don't want. That would be silly. Only put in the husband jar what you want. And then from now on, when you talk to your friends, you only talk about your husband and you only talk about what you want. So when your friends go, oh, I don't want, tell them, don't say that, because you're going to manifest all the things that you told the universe that you didn't want. Because when you say, I don't want, the universe doesn't hear the don't. They hear the I want. So I don't want anybody who cheats on me. They're going to send you someone who cheats. What'd you just say? What'd you just say? I don't want that. Don't say that. Yeah. So what you say is, I want someone who is faithful. Instead of saying, I don't want that. Because the universe is like, checkmate. Checkmate. Like, you said you didn't want it. Really? Because knowing you try to fix it. It's like, are you sure? You said you didn't want it, yet you're still trying to fix it. So keep that in mind. Questions, love. Yes. Do you have any questions for me? We covered a lot. A lot, a lot. And the cool part is it's recorded. You can go back anytime. Yes, I will upload it and then I will send you an email with the link to the video. All right. Any other messages for Anne? Any other messages? All right. So you got 3. We gain power from again and again allowing ourselves to choose the kind of recklessness that allows us to be vulnerable, genuine, and brave in pursuit of our dreams. So What are your dreams? Take that leap of faith. Step out of your comfort zone. That's where you'll gain the most power. That's where you take back your power and you feel more in control when you actually are willing to be vulnerable and allow yourself to do something you have never done before. And it says, there is light all around. There is much to be grateful for in this seemingly dark world. And so all we must do is pull our gaze from the shadow and look to the ocean of divine light and grace in which we are blessed to live. So just even in the darkest of times, just recognizing there is light in all of it. Like even at nighttime when we're outside, there's still stars. There's a moon that's illuminating the sky. And it says, our greatest personal power is the ability to take over our impulses and direct our minds to choices and commitments that will serve us. I love that one for you. Now, multiple times we kept talking about power, power, power. I think that word has been said probably more than 30 times in your reading. You might want to go back and listen and count how many times we talked about power, power control. Yes. So I'm going to read this one again then. Our greatest personal power is the ability to take over our impulses and direct our minds to choices and commitments that will serve us. That will serve us, not serving the other person. It serves all of us, not just one. Yes. I put that in front of the camera so you get to see that. Your greatest personal power is the ability to take over your impulses and direct your mind to choices and commitments that will serve you. So, your greatest personal power is to stop putting your energy into everyone else and start putting all your freaking energy into yourself and what your future is, what you're building. I'll tell you right now, that'll be the sexiest thing a man has ever seen with you. Is when you take back your power and you actually go out and do something for yourself and you're not reliant on a man to do it for you. Because gone are those days. If you can't, like, you better know how to cook. You better know how to do a zombie apocalypse at this point. You better be ready to go kill a chicken if you need to. Like, no joke. Because that vegan shit isn't going to help you in a zombie apocalypse when you're needing protein. Keep that in mind. And look around. We're in a weird place in the world right now. Because you're on an island doesn't mean you're immune. Trust me. It's coming to an island near you. Girl, you rock. I love your energy. I really do. I think that where you have gone wrong is by giving away your power to others, whether that's to your dad or your mom, or thinking that because you couldn't control your own life, you tried to control what went on between your parents. And that's where you kind of fucked up. So, like, again, work on that bond with your mother, work on a bond with your dad. Like, sit down, ask him questions about his childhood, try to get in a little bit, you know, try to have that bonding moment with him. It'll actually do you well, and then you'll see like where you've kind of been left in the fray when it comes to your other love relationships. And it always has to do with your parents. I know. I've had major abandonment issues myself, kid. I was adopted. So, yeah, I was put up for adoption when I was 4 months old. And I wasn't adopted until I was 2. So, I had major, major, major abandonment issues. And, so I would always end up in relationships that were way less than savory. They would always end up abandoning me. It was always really painful, and I would die when they left me because I just felt like so a battered child, you know what I mean? And so, but I also abandoned parts of myself that I knew that this wasn't a good situationship for myself, but yet I would always try to fix it because I just didn't want to be alone. And now I've been divorced since I was 24 years old, so 21 years now, almost. And I've been single for the majority of it, like almost 17 years of it, you know. I dated somebody a couple years, like I dated somebody last year on the island, and he was a complete dipshit. But now, because I've been single for 9 years before him, like single and celibate, nothing. Um, I was so hyper aware of, like, you're an idiot. Like, if you think that I just came out of being single for 9 years to put up with this kind of shit, you think I'm desperate? I'm sorry, but I'm not. Like, somebody else might put up with your shit, but you're barking up the wrong tree. Not only that, I do this shit for a living. So transparency is everything with me. And so for me, like, I didn't care that he was the only guy that's asked me out in 9 years. I didn't fucking care. You asked me out and you had no plans of ever doing anything with me. You just want to keep me on the back burner. And that's just not how I play. Like, if we're going to do this, I want a return on my investment. I want to know that we're building together. I want to know that we're creating together. You know, he wanted me to build his business, and I did. I built his fucking business right there in Kona. And then when I asked him, you know, like, what's going on between us, he was like, oh, well, you know, well, do we really need to put a title on it? I'm like, I've been over here building your fucking empire. And it should have been our empire. So what? I've been building it for someone else to sit on the throne? Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. So I built it in, yes. So that's when you got to do it much, like, I'll help you. Like, I literally built his business from the ground up. It's the motorcycle shop in Kona. Rock the Moto. It's over by yeah, it's over in the old industrials. Yeah, it's the red black one, and it's got the, yeah, the motorcycle, and it's got the skull with the motorcycle on it. That's all me. I did all that. Yeah, I did all that. I painted all that. I did that whole thing. I did his website. I did his business logo. I mean, I did it all. And then he's like, you know, and but that was me. I was like, okay, I'll help you with all this, but are we building this together, or are we just building this for somebody else to sit on the throne? And he was like, well, you know, I kind of want to. I'm like, nah, we're done. And then, you know, now he's still like, it's Mercury retrograde, so he's back to stalking my fucking page, you know? And again, is I'm not stupid. Like, he knows if he reaches out to me, I'll rip his fucking ass. Leave me alone. I mean it. Like, don't contact me. I shouldn't have to block you to keep you out of my life. And I shouldn't have to be mean to you to make that happen. And I'm not being mean. I'm just being very, like, I have my boundaries. Don't cross them. Leave me alone. And that's how you need to get, is if somebody treats you like that and they don't want to put a title on it, bye. Bye. I don't have time for that. And that's the persona you need to take on. You didn't waste any time. No, 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 no. Never look at it like you wasted time. That's where you go wrong. Because I didn't waste my time being with him. Even though I built his empire, I went and did what I gave from my heart. That doesn't mean that I've wasted my time building his empire. When I was building it, it was for us. Like, I was in it, I was loyal, I was honest. I mean, everything was for us. I can't help that he was not on that page, even though he pretended to be. And he did it because he's a user. That's what he does. He uses women, and he, like, that's just how he is. He's got this sweet persona and he acts all innocent. And then when you try to tie him down, he won't even let you go to his house. Yeah, he won't even let you in. We dated for 5 months. He wouldn't let me in his house. Would never let me come over. Yeah. oh, well, I don't have a couch, and oh, I don't have this, and I mean, what are we gonna do? Like, I could just come over here. No, we're not just playing house at my house. Like, you can fuck off. See what I'm saying?
So he's just gonna come over and
Yep. And so I was like, after 2 months of that, I stopped. And then 3 months went on and he kept still trying until I finally just blocked him. I was like, just leave me alone. You're dumb. Like, I've given you every opportunity to change it, to work on it. Do I feel like I wasted my time? No, absolutely not. Because again, I was pure. My intentions were pure. So never look at it like you wasted time, because there's no such thing as a mistake in this lifetime. If somebody comes into your life, they're here to teach you a lesson. And some of those lessons we don't like, but if we don't learn the lesson, we're not going to, you don't know what you like until you know what you don't like. That's what it is.
yes,
That's what you learn. So you learn, yes, oh, I don't like that feeling. Hold on. Okay. So when somebody else comes in and tries to do it, you're much more hyper aware. And you're like, wait a minute, I don't like that feeling. Until you finally, like, you meet the one. And then the one won't do that shit to you. But you'll also be better at setting boundaries and saying, no, dude, that's not going to fly. And if they continue to do it, that's when you part ways. So keep that in mind. Any questions? Mhm.
well, I guess it's in my, I guess in a past relationship, is that possible? Because my person that I was dating, he felt kind of hate to me.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's healthy or
Um,
just should I keep on with this person or
so Libra, you have Libra in your chart. And Libras always have a tendency to want to keep their exes around and be buddy, buddy, chummy with their exes. But what happens is you don't have room for anyone else. And let me ask you a question. If you were dating somebody and he was still talking to execs, would you be okay with that? No.
that?
So just, you know the answer. And if you want to make room for someone else, that doesn't mean this person's a piece of shit or a bad person. It's just, but there's always this hope that you're still going to be with them. So there's always that line between the two of you, but it's like this invisible line. And Spirit saying, like, again, the last card out was you still need to release your ex. Gotta let him go. Sorry, girl. Because they're just not good for you. And it is very confusing for you. And even in your heart. But all my motherfucking Libras do that shit. In fact, he was a Libra and he was still all chummy with his ex. And I was like, you don't have room for anyone else to come in. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to compete against your ex. Like, you don't have to compete against mine. None of my exes fucking call me on Mercury retrograde. They know better. So no one that ever dated me or came into my life would ever have to worry about an ex dropping in. And
Just anything, like says, hey, how are you? That's just
for me, no, no, don't leave me alone. We're not friends. You weren't a friend to me when we broke up. If we broke up, it was because you were not my fucking friend. Because friends don't treat each other that way. So we don't have anything. I will nothing you. I don't hate you. I don't like you. I nothing you. I don't care about you. Like, you are beneath me at this point. I got other things to do. Don't look back. You know why the rear view mirror is so much smaller than the windshield? Because you're not going that way. Turn around. Look out the windshield. Keep moving forward. I'm a future forward type person. I don't give a fuck about the past. Yeah. And I don't need anybody from my past coming back in. That's why my tattoo right here says hug me, kiss me, love me, miss me. Because you come into my life, you hug me, you kiss me, you tell me you love me, and then you come back later, you're like, I miss you. I bet you fucking do. I'm a fucking delight. You're gonna miss me. Sucks for you, doesn't it? So have a good day. And I literally wear my heart on my sleeve. So you know what you're gonna get if you leave me. If you hurt me, if you fuck with me, you will miss me. That is for sure. But I don't open the door twice. Mm-mm. No, thank you. And I don't want to be your fucking friend. You weren't a friend to me. If you were a friend to me, you would have never hurt me the way you did. You would have thought about that. Make sense? Any other questions? How do you feel? How do you feel? Yeah, good. Good. I'm excited for you. I really actually am. I see a lot of really good things for you, girl. You just need to ask for more. Ask for more. You're humble. You're a very humble human being, which is a beautiful thing about you. But because you've been so humble, it's time for you to ask for more because you do deserve it. And shine your light. No, don't be passive aggressive on what you know you desire. And don't let anything stop you, especially fear. Do not let fear stop you from truly creating the life of your dreams. Like, you have a blank canvas from this point forward. How do you want to paint it? How do you want to write the chapters? You're in control of that. If you don't like what you wrote, tear out the page and write a new one. All right, baby girl? You're a beautiful soul. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I really do appreciate it. Absolutely, honey. If there's ever anything you need, please do not hesitate to reach out, okay? And check out my YouTube channel because I sent you a video. You're very welcome, honey, and I will chat with you again soon. Absolutely. Please do. I love to hear her. Take care, darling, and I'll chat soon. I'll get this uploaded, okay? All right, darling.